What up, what up? It's your host, Shelby, the marketing broker. Welcome to another episode of, you guessed it, Insurance Marketing Playbook Podcast. Oh, finally got it right the first time. If you have listened to any other episodes, you know I usually mess it up the first time, so I'm pretty proud about that one. Today, we are talking about AI overview, we're talking about chat, we're talking about Grok, we're doing all the things AI and how it can help your insurance agency and what you can do to not be scared of it. I do not like hearing people being scared of AI. Guys, you are not being replaced, especially in the insurance world. I don't know why people are freaking out in the insurance world about this, being replaced by AI. I guess there could be some concern about going fully automatic online. Maybe you can do like all of your going through getting a quote for free, then you do claims online and all the things. Maybe that's a little bit of something, but ultimately AI is a great resource for us to use marketing wise, but I don't think it's ever going to sell. I don't think it's ever going to be able to really give that customer service what it needs to be like in the insurance world, because we still have underwriters, we still have people that have to make decisions, and I don't think robots are ready for that yet. So don't scare away from AI. I want you to make sure that you can understand how it's going to help you with your marketing for your agency. So let's hop right on in. When we are Googling something, it pops up. What's the first thing now? As of a few months ago, AI summary is the first thing that will pop up on Google. If you ask it a question, if you ask for recommendations, it will pop up AI summary. And you may be thinking, where does that information come from? Great question, listener. The information comes from websites, social media, and Google Business Profile updates. AI doesn't just come up with random recommendations. It just doesn't come up with random thoughts about the subject that you are asking about. No, AI is being fed information from the internet. It's being pulled from certain websites. So how do we get up there? So I want to make sure that if you have a website for your insurance company, and let's say that you're not associated with a big brand name, so let's say you're an independent. Sorry, big brand namers out there. I'll get to you in a second. But if you have your own independent agency, you have the authority to be the authority on the internet. You have the opportunity to optimize your back end of your website, making sure your meta descriptions, your meta titles, making sure the tags are correct, the keywords are correct, and then also making your website very copy heavy. I want it to be very word heavy. Copy and words, same. I want it to be very, very wordy. And why is that? Because the more information we can push out there to the internet, the more information AI has to pull from. Ding, ding, ding. That's how we get on ChatGPT search. That's how we get on Grok. That's how we get on AI summary. We provide information, education, and become the authority in the insurance world through simple techniques. Also, if you have your own website, you've optimized everything. Let's say you have a blog. Blog once a week, blog twice a month. Like, set a goal to be able to blog. Just do it. Educate people about random things. This podcast right here will go on a blog on my Insurance Marketing Playbook podcast website that is then fed into Google search, that is then fed into AI, that is then fed into social media. And that is how we push our authority out there as a marketing agency for insurance companies, if that gives you any kind of idea. So people have questions about insurance all the time. Like, just think about the phone calls you get. Think about the emails you get, the text messages that you get. Whatever those questions are, make them into simple blog posts. Make them into short form video on social media. You have another episode about that. Y'all can check that one out later. But make sure that you are educating and pushing information out there and not just selling your business or selling yourself. So that way AI will pick up on it, because it really wants valuable information to be able to push it out there. Obviously, AI overview and chat and Grok and all of them, they are trying to impress the user. And so they're only pulling the best information. They're only pulling the information that sounds the most important, that sounds the smartest, and if you can be that, they're going to push you out there. So let's go back to our big name branders. Hey. If you don't have access to your website, I want to make sure that you are pushing information out on social media as much as possible. So I know I usually say 3 posts a week. Let's push it out 5 posts a week. Let's do some videos. Let's do some heavy, like long form content, like maybe a miniature blog post on social media. So that way we are pushing that education out there. We're pushing that information out there. So that way people can then see what is really important in insurance. Now, I know if you go to chat right now and you say, hey, what's the best local insurance company around me, and you don't pull up, we don't have control over what AI like pulls from, right? The only thing we have control over is what we're pushing out to the internet. What are we pushing out to the world? What are we pushing out to the search engines? And so I want you to focus your energy on what you can push out rather than focusing on, well, damn, these other people are on here ahead of me. I'm on the 4th page of Google. They're on the 1st page of Google. Y'all, don't get caught up in that. I want you to get caught up in feeding as much information as possible. I will give you an example from me. I have this podcast. I have a happy hour podcast. I do daily videos on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. I have a boss marketing community, boss marketing club. And then I also will do any kind of like speaking engagement. I've got my book that I go on tours with every now and then. So that way I can then speak about my book and then get tagged in the organization's information. Like, there's just so many different things that I do that I am constantly pushing out education about marketing and keeping you guys up to date. There's a reason why this podcast gets over 100 downloads a week. Like, there's a reason why. It's because I'm giving you information about marketing. You found me through an organic search. You know why I know that? Because I had someone cold call me, tell me they'll charge me $4,000 because there's not an insurance marketing podcast on Apple. There was not an insurance podcast that specifically was about marketing. And the lady was like, hey, for $4,000, I'll get you set up. I'll write you an outline. I'll do all the things. I'll edit your videos. I was like, bro, like, this is like what I do. Like, what are you talking about? I've literally had this active since January of 2026. And right now at this episode, it's going to be airing in March of 2026. So in 3 months, I have had over 5,000 downloads on this podcast specifically, all through organic reach. I've done social, I have a website, and then I have the podcast on Apple and Spotify and all the other podcast sites. So that's how impressionable organic content can actually be on the end user. And I want you to take that example, apply it to your insurance company. If you need help with like understanding AI, or if you need help with like, okay, well, what exactly outline do we need? What kind of strategy do I need to be able to do this? Reach out to me. Go to the insurancemarketingplaybook.com, or find me on the internet, The Marketing Broker. I'm Shelby McFarland. Just reach out to me, connect with me. I would love to help you really utilize the resource of AI to help increase your insurance sales and your insurance brand. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.